He's the guardian of time, the dragon. He's there to steal your time. This is his kingdom. Oof. And why does he reward and bless some technology groups and destroy into oblivion others? He is a time bandit. Principal measure. Because what you give your time to is what you worship. We don't use this language anymore because our pastors were neutered by finders infiltrating their ranks and teaching them the doctrines of demons rather than the authority and the commandments of the Most High. We don't understand why they're stealing our time because the currency of the future is attention, period. It won't be dollar bills. It will be minutes, seconds, that's going to be the currency of their kingdom going forward. Whoever can capture the imagination, Walt Disney's motto, capturing the imagination, like you just described so well articulated, that world, that universe that you can escape to for 2.5 hours of awesome Black Mirror staring and gazing.
Yes.
There are places inside the human heart that no one ever sees. Dark corners, hidden chambers, moments we buried so deep that even we pretended they never happened. But the truth is this: darkness doesn't disappear just because you don't look at it. Pain doesn't vanish just because you silence it. And shame doesn't die just because you try to outrun it. Every one of us carries a story, a wound, a battle taking place behind the eyes, beyond the flesh, inside the unseen. And today, we're going to walk into that unseen realm together, not to fear it, not to hide from it, but to confront it with the power that created worlds, because you were never meant to fight alone.
Begin transmission.
Here we go.
Demons specifically began to teach mankind how to make devices to talk to them. The first images ever used on like a television screen that you and I think of today were the Knights Templar's cross. They were literally channeling these spirits to give them technology to help them have access to their realm. But it was a two-way street. And they were being manipulated because there's obviously levers to pull on somebody to make them give them what you want. They wanted a form of technology. Most of the time it's military or it's for financial gain. And that exchange is what has progressively been building this technology that we have. This is the interface communications platform that these entities now use to get their voice in. And it started right away from the beginning. You can backplay music and hear speech. Even when people are normal singing gospel Christian songs, you will still hear other speech coming in backwards. And it's not always demonic sounding. It's not always evil. But when you start playing some of this music backwards, you'll find this artifacts of this phenomenon going on all over the place. Like there was a technology company that I was doing security for, and they were getting their data storage devices, petabytes of data storage, huge. That's the beast currency for them. It's going to be data storage. They got the design plans from lucid dreaming and from talking to aliens, entities that came and visited them, that showed them and helped them crack problems they were having. They were doing ritual, not the same kind of voodoo creepy stuff that people would think of, but they were communing with them under a man who was much more the handler of this group, who was an adept in these organizations. And he was teaching them, oh, here's how you can take the psilocybin mushroom. Here's how you can take these different compound supplements. And here's how you structure yourself with fasting and with sleep deprivation. And so that you will have these interactions. That was where their technology for this data storage had its origin points. But that's just one little tiny drop in a big bucket of the story of the chain of custody for where much of our technology has come from.
There is a war being fought over every breath you take. Not a metaphor, not a poetic idea. A real war, spiritual, intelligent, coordinated. The enemy of your soul doesn't come after your money, your body, or your reputation first. He comes after your identity. He whispers, "You are broken. You are unworthy. You are dirty. You are too far gone." Because if he can convince you to agree with the lie, he never has to chain your body. He chains your mind. But hear me, you are not your darkest moment. You are not your worst mistake. You are not the shame that kept you silent. You are not the trauma that happened to you. There is a truth deeper than trauma, older than your pain, stronger than the darkness that stalked you in the night. And that truth is this: you were created with purpose, with intention, with light woven into your very being. You are not a victim of this war. You are a weapon.
I just want to remind all of you, whoever is listening to this, that no matter what you have been through, no matter what has been done to you, no matter what you have done, there is always a path of redemption from the deepest ruins, you can come to find restoration. And that is found through calling on your creator, Yahweh Elohim, the Lord God Almighty. And you can have a relationship with him through the blood of the Lamb, the works of redemption that were done through his son and his steadfast obedience that he did on the earth. And you know what? He will co-labor with you, come alongside you and fight for you and set you free from all the chains of bondage that have been upon you. He is the one who drew us out of misery. He is the one who brought us out of bondage and slavery, and he can set your foot on the rock of salvation. And I earnestly implore you to put your faith and your trust in him.
Shame has a sound. It speaks softly, slowly, relentlessly. It tells you your past disqualifies you. It tells you you're too messed up to be used. It tells you you're an accident God tolerated, not a child he formed with love. Shame is a liar. Shame is a thief. And shame is the favorite weapon of darkness. Because shame convinces you to sit in the prison cell long after the door has been unlocked. But today, the lies break. Today, the voice of shame loses its authority. Because truth is stepping into the room. And truth always exposes the darkness for what it really is. Powerless.
A lot of information and expertise in physics and this was birthed right after the World War II and the beginning of the Cold War era. And so they came, a lot of the scientists were picked out of the Manhattan Project. And for those of you who don't know, the Manhattan Project was the most secretive project that has ever taken place in the United States history up until the 1940s and 50s. After World War II, there was a massive push to develop more advanced nuclear weapons, including fission weapons and fusion weapons and these just different types of devices that could cause greater destructive capacity. And at the time we had a monopoly on that information, and that was done through an incredible conspiracy of silence, which was the Manhattan Project. And you had a few different major heads of that. Right now there's a very popular one, which is Robert Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer really didn't last that long into the Cold War season because of someone named Edward Teller. We're going to have a long pause on that guy because he's one of the integral figures in my life who began to vet me out and bring into what was called the Jason projects, which ends up coming later in the late 80s. And this is specifically a project system that was designed to cultivate and create Jasons that were youth. And it's a curriculum-based system that is built and founded by a guy named Robert Ballard, who was a commander, a retired United States military intelligence officer who worked in the oceanographic, the United States Navy, and the research vessels, people that were diving into the depths of the earth and coming out with all kinds of technologies and devices and things that they don't talk about. And they just say, we're going down and looking for volcanic vents, and when they're really looking for things like nuclear weapons on United States submarines that got dropped and misplaced, or like the Soviets, we were sinking a lot of Soviet nuclear submarines as well, and we were trying to get inside there and open up their vaults and get into their codes and stuff like that. So they were part of a lot of those projects in the military. Well, in 1989,
Addiction isn't about the substance, or the habit, or the bottle, or the screen, or the pills, or the thrill. Addiction is the counterfeit solution to a real pain, a pain you weren't meant to carry alone. Addiction is a symptom, not your identity. Let me say that again. Addiction is a symptom, not your identity. You can be struggling without being possessed by the struggle. You can be fighting without being defined by the fight. The enemy wants you to think you're too deep in the pit to climb out. But here's the good news. You don't have to climb out alone. The power that formed galaxies, split seas, and walked out of a tomb, walks into your pit with you. You are not fighting to be free. You are fighting because you are free. And darkness knows it.
those of you that are in those positions of power that are compromised, the only way out is through the power of confession. You should take the time while you have an opportunity to confess what you've done in secret now. Otherwise, listen, there is going to come a judge of all the earth who will assuredly lay you bare and naked and expose you for what you are and all the things you did in secret. Everything you've ever done in secret will be brought to the light. His eyes have gone through all the earth, and they're seeking out the hearts of men, and he's looking for those that are going to honor and obey him. And you know what? If we humble ourselves before him and we commit ourselves to following his ways, he will lift us up and exalt us. But the proud and the arrogant ones, he will assuredly cut down, and they will reap as they have sown.
There is a deep awakening happening on the earth. People are beginning to realize Christ isn't just a story. Christ isn't just a symbol. Christ isn't just a distant historical figure. Christ is a frequency, a consciousness, a living, breathing presence that awakens the truth inside you. This is the moment when the veil lifts, and you remember who you really are. When Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you," he wasn't giving poetry. He was revealing your design. The same spirit that raised the dead lives in you. The same light that shattered the tomb is in your bones. The same authority that commands angels is written into your DNA. Christ consciousness isn't about becoming God. It's about remembering that you were created in the image of the one who is. You were born to carry light, born to walk in truth, born to destroy darkness. Wherever you go, not through ego, not through force, but through love so fierce that even hell trembles. This awakening is not coming. It's already happening. Inside you. Right now. This very moment.
hold me down there as I was drowning. As I was fading and splitting and losing consciousness and beginning to convulse and drown, he would bring me out of it, and he would clear my airway, and he would resuscitate me. And when I would come to consciousness, I didn't have any memory of the past. That was a new split, a blank slate is what it's called. That blank slate now is a new personality, and I'm actually bonded to that man as my savior. He saved my life. He rescued me. I love him. I'll do anything for him. And you're in a fugue state. You're very much impressionable. That's how a personality can get created. It's not always to that extreme. Once a lot of this patterning happens, it can be done with substances, it can be done with shocks and scares and frights. And that personality that's now bonded to him as the master now can do his bidding. And anytime he wants to bring that personality up, he could take me into the bathroom and show me the tub. Somebody can come along when I'm in Flagstaff, Arizona, 150 miles away, and show me a picture of that tub and call the name of that personality out. Or it can be a specific ring that somebody wears that during the programming session, they hold up the ring and teach you about this and give your name, your identity is bound to that. So when that ring is manifested, or a necklace, or a piece of jewelry, or a specific color and pattern of a shirt, an ensemble is brought forth, that's when the personality is brought forward.
Freedom rarely comes quietly. It's a shaking, a tearing, a breaking. It's when the chains that wrapped around your soul start to snap open at the sound of truth. Some of you feel that right now. In your chest, in your stomach, in your bones. That's not emotion. That's not imagination. That's the spirit of truth, cutting the cords that held you for years. Let it break. Let it fall. Let it die. You are crossing a threshold. You are stepping into a new identity, a new mind, a new consciousness. The past cannot follow you here.
They said it was a dam. They lied. The Hoover Dam wasn't built just to harness the Colorado River. It was built to lock something beneath it. It wasn't designed like any ordinary power plant. It's a fortress of reinforced concrete, deeper and more complex than it ever needed to be for water and turbines alone. This site has more restricted zones than almost any federal facility open to the public. Key cards, private tunnels, rooms that don't exist on any official schematic. Blueprints that have been declassified come back almost entirely blacked out. And the few we do have, they don't match the structure visitors have walked through for decades. Former workers described access corridors that veer into unmarked areas, heavy steel doors with no handles, warning signs, and a mechanical hum you could feel through the walls. One of those chambers, buried deep beneath the main structure, was called the vault. Lead-lined, fiber-connected, and sealed shut. No explanation. No listed function. Only silence and shielding. Now this is just a theory, but some believe that vault was tied to Project Orion, a Cold War-era plan involving nuclear propulsion, advanced energy testing, and systems that may not have originated on Earth. And here's where it gets stranger. The teams behind the Manhattan Project at Los Alamos were directly involved in Hoover's engineering. The dam isn't just a public works monument, it's military-linked. And the bedrock underneath? Geologists have found overlapping fault lines, magnetic anomalies, and rare mineral signatures beneath the site. Not ideal for a power plant, but perfect if your goal is to isolate something. When you construct a dam with radiation shielding, classified schematics, and sealed-off wings that haven't been touched in over half a century, you're not just holding back a river, you're sealing something in. And whatever's down there, they've made sure we never see it. They'll never open it, but we will. Follow for more Hidden Truth Files.
Freedom isn't just a moment. It's a path that starts with a whisper. Come out of the guilt, out of the addiction, out of the secret wounds, out of the parts of your story you never told anyone. Your scars are not evidence of your failure. They are evidence of your survival. You did not break. You did not die. You did not lose. You made it here, to this moment, this awakening, this crossing, and there's something you need to hear. You are not held by darkness anymore. You are held by purpose. The unseen war may continue, but you will not fight it the same way anymore. Because now, you see, you know, you remember. There is light inside you, older than your trauma, stronger than your shame, brighter than the darkness that hunted you. You are not the wounds you carried. You are not the lies you believed. You are not the chains that once defined you. You are awakening. You are rising. You are walking in the consciousness of Christ, the truth of who you are, who you've always been, and who you were created to become. Step forward, lift your head, and remember, the darkness fears you, because the light walks with you, and the light never loses